Hi, Tabitha. Hi, Diana. Let's see. Hello, travel dancers. Angela and Tabitha, do you have me as a captive audience? Yep. We've got you. You're stuck driving, huh? Well, I'm glad you made it anyway, even if you didn't really want to. No, I don't believe that for a minute. I think you'd be sitting here if you could. Hi, Teresa. Hello, everybody. How are your days going? Here today, it's really raining hard. Yeah, don't believe that for a minute. I'm talk texting and I won't do it much, but it was at least I didn't forget this time. Yeah. Hi, Joan. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, let's not get in any wrecks there, Diana. Just listen, that'll be good enough. Anyway, today I thought I'd ask you what questions you came up with after trying this for a little bit. I know I've got a few of you that have been going at it for a little bit longer than others. 60 yesterday and today snowing. That sounds like our weather. We went from the 70s down to the 40s, and it's raining and thundering, and so I don't know how much of me you're going to hear, but we will do the show anyway. Yep. Get these cards good and shuffled. I brought out a new deck. Yeah, Teresa, that she did go from decent to not real good. In Tampa, it's hot. Temps have been high in the last few years. I would rather have hot than what we got right now. It's cold and wet. I'm not fond of cold and wet. Mm-mm. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reading, I guess, do my own reading and give you an idea of what's going on. And while I'm doing that, you can type in your questions if anybody has any. Okay, it has me worried about a married woman, dark hair, that's my daughter, and a divorced woman. That's kind of strange. The divorced woman, I don't know right off the top of my head. So that's kind of unusual. Okay, Diana, let's see. Can you check to see if I should start a lavender farm and attempt to be a beekeeper? Both of those sound great to me. I think I will dive right into that one. Okay. Lavender farm and beekeeper. Lavender farm and beekeeping. I think I'm going to do the question spread because that one sounds more like a yes or no. But as you know, when I do a yes or no, I still get other things to go around it. Okay, should Diana go into lavender farming and beekeeping? Oh, it's going to make one of your neighbors jealous. That's for sure. Okay, I've got a definite yes here. You've got a lot to find out about it. There's a lot you've got to learn about it. There's a doctor's appointment. So make sure that you're not allergic to bee stings. That would be one I'd check. It's going to involve other people. There'll be a party around it. And somebody was going to be angry and you're going to shed tears. So I would say somebody's going to probably upset you or say you can't do it. Well, you don't listen to people tell you you can't do anything. You just go ahead and do what you want to. Let them worry about it later. But the answer is yes. Okay. Therese says running over to the bakery. Oh, she's going to pick up guava cheese turnovers? That sounds good. Come on over. And Andrea's here. Hi, Andrea. Oh, we just barely got started, Andrea. Seems like everybody's running around. Andrea is going to post office to get your beeswax candles to you. And Tabitha says she'll be happy to fly over and bring me some. That sounds nice. Tabitha got 5 diamonds, 6 diamonds, and 7 spades for Diana. There you go. And you're getting some love, Tabitha, from Andrea. Oh. Diana says, thank you. I have a dental appointment coming up, so there is that. And they might be mad about these, but then I'm around a bunch of farmers, so you would hope not. Yeah. Oh, hi, Plucky Heroine. Okay. Cleaning out your freezer is a good thing to do in the spring. Good one, Plucky Heroine. And Tabitha has a lost pleasant surprise and a white lie. Well, maybe there's something you really wanted to get rid of. That's why you lost it. And you're going to tell somebody, no, I didn't deliberately lose that. Okay. Diana says, go ahead and make my day rock and roll, sister. That's about right. Plucky Heroine says she might find Jimmy Hoffa. The freezer is a mess. Yeah, mine's kind of that way too right about now. Yeah, and Jimmy Hoffa could be in there. That freezer's pretty old. I know my freezer's at least 30 years old, if not older. Let's see. Does anybody else have a question? like the stone, a loss and pleasant surprise. Yeah, you're right, Tabitha. That was a good one. It was a loss, and finding it was a pleasant surprise, and it was funny too. That was hysterical. She's nearly sitting right on it. That was a funny one, Tabitha. Okay. Okay, is anybody game for a reading? I could just do a general reading on somebody, and it'll do a lot to show you what the meanings are and how to read them. Okay, Teresa, I'll give you a general reading. Okay, the immediate energy is somebody wants to borrow money from you. It has something to do with your marriage. And they're going to find out something. It's like a strange thing is coming by and they're going to have to borrow money. A strange topic is going to come up. Okay, and the first card you got is happiness here. Then someone drinking or on drugs. We don't know what that really means yet. And it's going to happen around water. Yeah, that person is definitely going to try and borrow money. And I have you being sick, but it's going to be something very minor. Because there's nothing else to make it anything worse, you know. Okay, now I'll pick up the first 5. Okay, and this 8 is your happiness. You're going to be happy about something. Somebody is going to be drinking at the time you find out whatever this is. It's going to make you happy. You're going to be around water. And then the 10 is the person is going to borrow money and you're going to be sick, or maybe you're going to be sick about the amount of money or who's asking for it. But that's the first handful of what we read. It's when you lay out the 13 across, you pick up the first 5 and you read those all together. This one doesn't have any bold conclusions out of it, so it's still a little puzzle. The other cards will try to come in. I'll try to pull those in and we'll see what's going on. Hi, Vivian. Good to see you. And then we pick up the last card, the card that says you're going to be sick. and you're going to be around children. There's an older man, an older fair complected man there. Oh, that's 5. It's hard to see with this camera in my eyes. It's a relative. A relative with children is going to try and borrow money from you. And it's probably the amount that's going to make you sick. He's also going to have ask you to sign papers. It's someone you haven't seen in years. Okay, here we go. It's someone you haven't seen in years. You're going to be working. That's a good one. And then there's a fair complected woman. And you're going to give them some news about this. They're waiting on some information that you're going to bring up. So there's no real conclusion in this reading, in that it's a lot of people doing a lot of things, but someone's wanting to borrow money, and it's going to wait for it's going to take time before you have this information, because this 2 of diamonds is you're going to be giving them information that they need. Oh, hi, Sherry. Glad to see you here. But that's the information that you're going to come up with. So I'm not sure who wants money either, but it's always a surprise to me, actually, Teresa, when I get this. And now I'll do the timing layout. Yeah, and the borrowing money wasn't close enough to a person to really say it was that specific person that wants to borrow money, but you're going to hear about somebody wanting to borrow money. When there's no people around, you've got to wait until you get that person close to that card, and it'll come in later readings or in when I turn around and do the timing spread. Okay, the immediate thing coming up is you're going to see somebody you haven't seen in years. That's this man that's coming up in your spread. You're going to be discussing children. He's a relative. You're going to be talking about children, and he's going to be drinking. And I'm not saying he's getting drunk. I'm going to say that he might be having a beer, something simple like that, because there's nothing really drastic in your reading at all. It's mainly just waiting for little bits of information is what you're going to be doing. And this is how the spread is laid out on the table. That's that first card, and then the first 3, which is in the first 30 days. Then the 60 days is you're going to be sick around when you're around water, and a fair married man is going to be there. So I'm not sure who that is. You'll probably determine that. It's going to be a man. Then, of course, your layout is going to look like this. So you'll have it'll go up as your spread lays down on the table. And the whole thing will look like this. And then the next 3 is you're going to be working with a fair girl. And that's when y'all are going to find out the information. When you're working with a fair girl, you're going to find out there's information coming that'll shed light on who's wanting to borrow money. And then the farthest cards out are that somebody wants to borrow money. You're going to sign papers and you're going to be happy about it. So I don't know quite what that is. It could be something like when I got my daughter her first car. It was really nice. It was a 66 Rambler. I love that car. It was beautiful. But yeah, it can be things like that. I mean, somebody wanting to borrow money for a good cause is something I go for. Like my daughter getting her first car. It can be something to make you happy too. So always keep that in mind. You can see bad things in your cards and turn around. It's a good thing, that you're going to enjoy it and be happy about it. But somebody is going to be looking to borrow money, and you're going to be happy about it. You're going to sign papers for this thing to take place. And the only person, I only got 2 people involved. It's first the fair married woman, the fair married man, and then a single young fair girl. So it's going to be something to make you happy. So I would just, puzzle about it and look forward to it. Okay, I wanted to pull up Sherry here. I remember our first car. It was a 69 Dodge Dart Swinger. Those were great cars. You could hit the gas in those and they'd go. That's what I loved about the older cars. Yeah, Teresa. So just look forward to it because there's nothing bad in there. And the card that said you were going to be sick was not surrounded by anything talking about it. So it's not going to be anything to really be worth mentioning, something you can take an aspirin for. Yeah, your car was a Ford Mustang. That's a good car too. That was a good one. And Sherry's first car was her mom's first car. That's good. I love that stuff. I love those old cars. That's why I still drive old cars. I just got a 2004 Buick Park Avenue. That's what my son-in-law got me for Christmas. That's what solved our great dilemma with Deb because my car wouldn't make it. I usually buy older cars and then I totally rebuild them, like restore them. And then I get about 200,000 miles out of them. So, this last one was a Cadillac. It cost $1,800. And I drove it and drove it and drove it and drove it. And then it finally gave up. So now a man that his grandfather passed away a long time ago, but as he remembered his grandfather had that same Cadillac and he wanted it to restore it so that he could have some fond memories with that one. So I was glad to sell it and get it out off my hands. And I needed a little bit of money. And my daughter thought I needed a smaller car, which I don't believe that. I've always driven boats. Or as I called them, land yachts. Okay, Sherry says, my first car in my name was a 2007 Toyota Yaris. They had just come out. I love that little car. Yeah, you get attached to cars. I do. I really do. I named mine. Yep. My first car was a 72 Buick Skylark. And its name was the Blue Bomb. It had a great engine in it. It could haul it. It was really great. I love those big bench seats too. See, Diana says, that's the way Angela, my family's first car when I was growing up that I can remember was a Kaiser Manhattan. Yeah, that was a good old one. Yep. And the one thing I like about the boats, driving a huge car is everybody gets out of your way. Okay. Diana's first car was a 77 Volkswagen Bug. Oh, those were fun. I had a friend who had one of those. Every time we would be driving to school, he would pick me up, walking to school. He would pick me up and get me to get in the car on his way to school because he had speed bumps he had to go over. So he'd get up to the speed bump and I'd sit on the bumper so he could get over because otherwise it was stuck on the speed bump. We had a lot of fun in that little car too. I was small enough I could fit in the back with a couple other people. And that's a lot for a Volkswagen Bug. But you know how high school is. If you're driving a car, you'll get more people in there than you can possibly fit. It had a hood, fiberglass hood kit that made it look like a 1944 Ford. That's fun. And Teresa's Mustang was a 74. Yep. I love those 70s vintage cars. Loved them. In the 80s, I had a 73 Buick Estate wagon, and it was called the Beast. That was his name because he looked ugly and he smelled bad. But I could get 11 people in there. Not too many cars these days will seat 11. It had 3 great big bench seats and then 2 little seats that folded up in the back. So I could take the whole crowd with me. And I did quite a few times. Okay, is there somebody else I can read for? I'll do a general reading, and as we read like this, and I talk you through a reading, you'll learn a lot more. And it helps to do a lot of practice. Just do practice reads for all the people around you. You can make them all sit down at the kitchen table and you read their cards for them. Yeah, Tabitha. It's your turn. I guess that's the one thing I do miss that I used to do is sit around the table and read everybody's cards. That used to be my house. Everybody came to my house and we'd all sit and read cards. Okay, Sherry, you're next up. Yep, right after Tabitha. Okay. Well, let's do for Tabitha. What she got for this weekend and possibly the week coming up. Okay, I've got a married man. You're going to get a letter from a married man, and he's going to tell you a little white lie in that letter. You better read it twice, maybe 3 times, until you know what it's actually saying. Okay, you've got a rocking start here. We've got an older man, a fair older man. Let's see, where are we? I got to get used to the camera. Okay, this is your fair older man. You're going to shed tears because you're going to be successful. There's a very pleasant surprise, and somebody's going to find out something. You're going to get to have some information that they need to know that they didn't, and they're going to be happy to hear it. Okay. Then we got somebody's going to find out some information about your car. Your car is going to be in question. That could be something very easy or and minor. I don't see any bad cards around it. It shows you being being at a party with a older man, a dark older man. He's married, and a woman, a dark woman. But it's going to be around a party. It could be something as simple as like my last. I had a tire blowout a couple of weeks ago, and like my son-in-law said, I couldn't have done it better. It couldn't have been a better situation. I was a block from home. There was an air pump close by, but the chunk of the tire had come out, so there was no air in it back up. But my son-in-law was home at the time and not doing anything. You know, it was quite the good situation. So he just came right over, took the tire off, took it to the place where we always buy tires from, and just got me a new tire and put it on there. It really couldn't have been easier. I had a parking lot that I just pulled right into as soon as the tire blew out. So it could be that easy. It could be something really easy because I don't see any signs of trouble in the rest of your cards. The rest of your cards are going to have are going to put a flavor on what your trouble signs are, like the car in question. The car in question, see there's the party card, and then there's the find out information, and the rest of the cards laying down on the table are red cards. So it's going to be kind of nice. It's not going to be a big deal. And then you're going to be, here's the rest of the cards. Then you're going to talk to this woman about a doctor's appointment that you have. She's going to shed tears over a minor quarrel, and it really amounts to nothing. The quarrel is not going to be a big deal. It's going to be a quarrel over a little white lie. So nobody should be really getting upset anyway. So these all look really good, Tabitha. Now let me do the other spread. I'll lay them back out. Okay, somebody's going to tell a little white lie. It's going to cause a minor quarrel. And it's going to be a dark married woman that's going to cause all this mess, and it's going to be a little bit of nothing over nothing. It's not going to be anything serious. And then you have two men here and the woman that we were just discussing. They're going to be with you at a party. So it's going to be a very minor quarrel. People don't normally argue at parties. And it's not going to be a big deal because it's surrounded by red cards. then it's a pleasant surprise about your car in question. You're going to find out that it's something really minor. See, there's the pleasant surprise, the 6 of diamonds right there. And then the find out information is the 2, and the car in question is the 10. So it's not going to be much of anything. I wouldn't worry about it at all. It may be a little hiccup in your plans, like when my tire blew out. Oh, and the other good part was my son-in-law had the money for the tire in his pocket. So we didn't even have to worry about that part. And then someone is drinking around you having a doctor's appointment, and it's going to be very successful. There's something really happy coming out of this doctor's appointment. So I don't know what that is, but it sounds really good, and it feels really good. And then the pleasant surprise about your car was like right underneath. So it has an effect on your doctor's appointment. The 4 here. That pleasant surprise is also going to bring some pleasant surprises out of your doctor's appointment too. So keep that in mind. And that's your general reading. It sounded pretty good. Okay, let's catch up with a few people. Okay. Let's see, Sherry. When I get my car in the next few months, it will be a 2004 Mercedes. Right now, I'm driving a 1984 Grand Marquis station wagon, the Griswold's car. Oh, I would take the Grand Marquis. That would be a character of a car. Mm-hmm. Yep. Years back, my grandmother's friend would come over to visit her, and they would sit at the table and all read coffee grounds. Oh, I love that. That's really neat. And Sherry says, my car had a paperwork snafu, hence why I'm driving the station wagon. We will get all that straightened out by June or July. Will we get that straightened out by June or July? Okay, let me do a throw on that. You had asked for a reading, so I'll go ahead and throw on that. Okay. There we go. Yeah, they changed the rules a lot here in Texas about buying and selling cars. A lot of the information you had to get. And I told them I thought it was ridiculous. It used to be that we just had to sign the back of the title, and that was it. Now you have to nearly take their fingerprints. It's just plain ridiculous. Okay, here we go. Some of them really jumped out here. Okay, you're going to give someone a gift, someone you haven't seen in years. They have an enemy, and they're going to want to borrow money and sign papers, and may ask you to sign the papers. I'm wondering how that's tied to your car. Okay. Borrowing money, signing. The borrowing money and signing papers are right next to each other. So that may be just just in general the transaction of buying the car. Okay, she's going to get a car by June or July. Yes, you got the wish card. Someone's going to be out of town. and they're going to be happy with their trip out of town. So you've got a yes, and somebody's going to go out of town. Okay, we got a definite yes. We got, I'm going to look up a couple things here. Double fours. Okay. It says a definite yes on the June or July. That'll get straightened out. And then right on the top, you have a doctor's appointment and someone you think a lot of, but it's double fours. Now the two red fours are someone you care about is either sick or going to end up in the hospital. They're going to have a minor quarrel. There's going to be a minor quarrel around that. You're going to be sick and you're going to be in company. So this is more like a group effort here insofar as being in a minor quarrel. But you see all the red cards, it's going to be an extremely minor quarrel. And the doctors or the hospital doesn't seem like a bad thing either, because the rest of the cards around it are red. So it's not giving me any signs of anything drastic. So yes, you will get your car straightened out. Okay. Yeah, it costs a fortune. Let's see. Let me catch up with you, Sherry. No matter where we go, someone comes over and asks about the station wagon. Yeah. Yeah, it does cost a fortune to run that. Okay, borrowed title money is what the issue is for the person who owns the car. He let an old friend use it as collateral for a small loan, and they didn't get it back, and they didn't pay it back. Oh, that is a mess, paperwork-wise. Now there's a lien on the title, and we can't get it transferred. You can't get it transferred to you. He's going to have to take them to small claims court to get his title cleared. It depends on how long that is, Sherry, how long ago that was. In some states, they'll just write it off if you go down to the tax office and tell them the whole situation and that it's so old it's not worth even thinking about. And depending on the amount too. If it's a minor amount, then they're more likely to just let it slide and sign the thing over anyway. Then he'll drive it down to you in Louisiana and you'll give him his car back. Oh, I see. You got a loaner until. Yeah. That may be my son. He's been having serious intestinal issues. Yeah, well, this illness is not going to be a real big deal. It's going to be something they can handle. You know, that the doctors can handle. It doesn't look like anything complicated or drastic. Within the past year, from what I understand, what we are talking about, California laws, it was for under $3,000. Yeah, they may let it just slide. Yeah. But for that little bit, with the price of cars these days, the state may just consider it inconsequential and just sign it off. They used to do it here in Texas a lot. It was easy to get liens removed. And it's especially if you can tell them that you don't know who the lien was for or why it's there, they may just let it go. Yeah, here in Texas, they used to just let you sign the back of the title, and that was it. There wasn't much else. Okay. That's what we were hoping for. His doctor just gave him some new meds for his stomach issues. From the looks of the cards, I would say it's going to work out. Yep. So it looks really good in your cards. I didn't get anything real bad in your cards at all. And that car will be straightened out by June or July, the issue about the car. Same in Louisiana. It was very easy to sign over the title. Yeah. Yeah, people used to ask me why I didn't take the title. When I was younger, I lived here for a while, and I was racing my car on Farm to Market 2004. I used to race for money. I didn't want a title. Didn't want another car. Yep. Yeah, Sherry, everything looks really good. Your cards look real good. See how long we've been going here. Okay, not too bad. I can do a couple more readings. Does anybody else want a reading? My son wants to keep the station wagon. I gotta say, I'm with your son on that one. The thing is, you can have a ton of people and take them everywhere with you. You know, you don't have to worry about how many people you stuff in that car. And they were easier to fix, the bigger cars. Mainly because there was a lot more room in the engine cavity where you could stand around inside the car and work on it. I love that about my Buicks. I could just step right in there and I'd be completely under the hood. You couldn't even tell I was there. He's a musician, sound engineer. The wagon would make it easier to haul all his equipment when he goes on the road. Yep, it sure would. It would carry it all and a couple other people too. Yep, those were fun cars. Now I've got my tiny little Buick Park Avenue. The guy I sold the Cadillac to said that my Park Avenue wasn't a small car. Sherry says, oh yeah, it's huge, made for a very nice road trip. Oh yeah, that's the best part is road trips. When you have those huge old cars, man, they go and they're comfortable. You got plenty of room, stretch out. It's not cramped. Yeah, my daughter found out the lack of that property right there was the biggest drawback when she bought her new car. She was driving a custom van and went to a Jeep. Now she has to count heads before they can go anywhere. She has to count how many people are going. How many cars are we going to need now? Because her husband's car, it's a small one. He drives a Nissan, a little tiny one. So they have to be serious about what they take whenever they go out of town. Okay, we've got about 10 more minutes. Does anyone else want a reading before we go? I think next week I'm going to go over the numbers. Just covering the numbers on more of a numerology type aspect. And I'll give you another way to look at the cards besides just their standard meanings. Okay. Yep, lots of room. We had a van once. My husband had outfitted it with its own AC for the back and a generator so he could have electricity in the back. Yeah. My daughter had everything in there, even a little refrigerator. So it was great having all the kids in there. Nobody was yelling for drinks because they could reach their own. She'd keep it full of sodas and those little pouch drinks that my grandson loves. I think they're called Capri Suns or something like that. He likes those little things. Yep. Okay, have we got any more questions? Or anybody else want a reading? Yep, we had a fridge and hot plate. It didn't have to stay in a hotel. We just parked the van. Yep. Made road trips really easy. Especially when you have the little ones, the grandkids when they were smaller. Having the van like that was so easy because then we could just pull over the side of the road when one of them got cranky or tired or, hungry. Nothing was a problem. Yeah, it made it real easy. Okay, well, we're getting close to an hour here. And next week, though, I'm going to go over the numbers from a numerology aspect. So that'll give it a little more flavor. Because you can think of these cards, you can think of them as the same as tarot. You can throw a few tarot references in there. Sometimes it'll help you figure out what's going on in the cards. But these are very direct. They don't have a lot of wishy-washy stuff in them. But sometimes the tarot meanings help. Especially if you have something you can't figure out. It's like another reference to go to. And so does the numerology. So I'll go over that next weekend. Okay, let's see. And it had really cool airbrush artwork on the sides. Yeah. Horses and sunrise is really cool. Yeah, it's nice the way they paint them. Hello, Davaria. You had cataract surgery Thursday. What will my outcome be? Oh, you had it on Thursday? Okay. Let me get out the 2 here. And I'll throw you some cards on that. Will it be good? Okay, I'm going to read on will Davaria have a good outcome from her cataract surgery? Okay, you've got success. Minor quarrel. What are all these people quarreling about? And a small unpleasant surprise. I don't think this has to do with your surgery. This is something completely off of the rails of that. We've got good luck right at the top of your reading here. Somebody's going to be jealous, or you're going to be jealous of someone. I'm sorry. Where we go? Has you jealous at a party. You're going to find out about a relative's affair. They're having an affair. Yes, the outcome's going to be very good. You've got 4 red cards here. So that makes it a good outcome. That's your yes. Now, in reading what we've laid out here, that you're going to be at a party, you're going to be jealous of someone. They're going to be angry, but you've got good luck crowning the reading. So something's good is coming out of this, and you're going to find out about a relative's affair. But I think this is all just looks like regular party stuff, like a gathering of people. Let's put it that way. But as for your surgery, yeah, it's going to come out real good. Okay. See, Sherry. I'm looking forward to learning more. I also just signed up for a course on becoming a certified card reader. I want to learn more so I can become a better reader. The classes are good and all to get you so you'll know what the specific meanings are. You're welcome, Davaria. To help you learn what the specific meanings are of the cards and all. But I find that the more experience you get, the easier it gets, the more intuitive you get. And the more intuitive you are reading, the better your readings come out. And as far as being a certified reader, I don't know how much that means. I've never heard of a certified reader. But, like I said, I've been doing this over 50 years, so I'm sure that's kind of certified in and of itself. But if it helps you, go for it. If it helps you get started or helps you hone your craft, always go for it. Yeah. That's what I would do. I would go ahead and go. And hopefully, at least the practice will make you more intuitive towards your readings. Yep. Yeah. And I was sorry to have missed you when you came. Yes, I agree. I know I'm getting better at it. There is just still so much more I want to learn. Yeah. Oh, there's so much history in the tarot cards. Oh, my goodness. You could study forever and still not get it all because there's so many references. Yeah. That's one of the reasons I like the playing cards is these are easy. They have definite meanings. There's no wishy-washy in it. Like the tarot cards, the tarot cards have a lot more meaning packed into one card. I'm going to do a show one day this week on the Tower card, and I'm going to go over the whole thing and make it not as scary because I know a lot of people are terrified of getting the Tower card in their tarot reading. So I'm going to go through and explain the whole process of what I did, of how I handle the Tower card. When I get a Tower card, what do I do? So that's what I'm going to go over. I'm going to do it one day this week. And that will help take some of the edge off of your tarot readings. Sorry. Let's see. I know I would have loved meeting you. Yeah. But yeah, you'll be back or I'll go to Louisiana. Oh, you'll have time to come back to Dallas and see everyone, maybe turn it into a small conference or something. That sounds good. That really does. Yeah, we could all get together. I think the problem was that we have so much construction going on around here that, and I know a few of us were on this side of the city where I would have had to come to the all the way to the other side of the city, and that's a trek. That would have been an hour and a half to 2 hours without rush hour traffic. Because it's not like they put up signs as to where you go when they're doing construction. They'll cut off your road and you'll have no idea which way you're going. Yes, we'll be talking soon. Yeah, you went through the nightmare, didn't you? Yeah, it has become a real nightmare driving around here. I agree with you there. Okay, well, next week we're going to go over the numbers. And during the week, I'm going to do a show on the tower card, demystifying it, making it not such a big deal. That'll help everybody calm down a bit when they get the tower card. Okay, thank you everyone for coming. It was fun, and love your old cars. They're always the best. Thank you all for coming. Bye-bye. Yes, Sherry, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, y'all.